So we have another delivery scheduled for today. Super excited to find out what it is. Whoa. It is the Osmo Action. Today, we're gonna do an unboxing of the Osmo Action. I know it is 2020 and you might be wondering, why do I want to buy an Osmo Action? Almost a year old now. I think there are a lot of features that the GoPro even Hero 9 does not offer, that Osmo Action offer, that we're gonna be talking about it today. We're gonna be doing unboxing and then looking at everything that it has inside, and then I'm also going to be doing tips and tricks on taking different shots and how to mount these things and various aspects of this camera. So thank you for tuning in. Let's get started. There it is, the Osmo Action right here. So let's take this out for now and let's set this aside. It has the sticker on both sides. Let's set this aside for now. Let's look at what else the box has. So there's the accessory box and there's nothing else over here. Let's open the accessory box and see what it has. If I can figure out how to open it. So what the accessory box has is the battery case. So I really like how DJI puts this in a little case. Makes it really handy. So here's the battery. And then there's a little slot for memory card right over here, SD card right over here. So it becomes really easy to use and carry. They also send you the instructions manual for sure. And then they send you the charger. So this is the standard USB-C, USB to USB-C charger. And then they send you the thumb screw. They also send you the curved, so this is the curved mount system. And as you can see that they kept what GoPro has in terms of the finger, the thumb screw that you can put and make this strong while mounting. They also put a flat mount over here, so these are going to come in handy when we're mounting it. So let's just talk about those mounts. So I really like how this is going to be compatible with your GoPro. So this is exactly how the GoPros are, and when you put this in, you can just use this thumb screw to connect this. Now, if this is useful because if you have old GoPro or you're upgrading from GoPro and you have the GoPro gear, so one for the car, if you're gonna use that, you can just literally swap this and use it for this mount, for this purpose over here. So it goes in and then you can put the thumb screw. So it works. If you had a floaty and a little handle with GoPro, this also works, so you don't have to buy another one for this specifically. And then, you know, something like I had a selfie stick that is from GoPro. For my GoPro, this is useful that I can just mount it and it works. So that's good news. It's compatible with all the GoPro stuff. One thing that I did find DJI did this a little differently is this is your typical GoPro thumb screw. So it has the four sides over here. There's the DJI one only has two sides. So this is going to be easy to use, so it doesn't get stuck. Sometimes you need a wrench to open this, but this one is going to be easy to use. Yes, it might be a little bit difficult to tighten it, but to untighten it, it will be really, really useful just having this two-sided thumb screw. So I also purchased the charging kit, and let's see what it comes with the charging kit. So when we open this, there's one battery, and And then there is an extra battery. So 2 batteries here. Let's see what this has. Nothing. It's an empty box. Just as a filler. There is the charging kit instruction manual. There's nothing here. And then here is the charger itself. So how this works is that it takes USB-C right here, and then it has 3 slots for 3 batteries. So the one that came with Osmo Action and then the 2 extra batteries, we can simultaneously charge those. So I open this battery, I just put it in, and then I plug this into USB-C, and then it's ready to go. So it will start charging. So with the charging kit, you get 2 extra battery and this charger, so you don't have to plug in your Osmo Action every single time directly. You can charge using this charger. Now let's look at the exterior and other features of this camera. As you can see right off the bat that it has a front-facing screen. So when you're recording, you can actually see what you're recording and you don't have to guess anymore that you're recording the right thing. Over here, you have a lens that can be just twisted and removed. So once you remove this, right over here, you can buy different filters directly from DJI or other companies such as Polar Pro make those lenses. And I like how easy it is to remove those. So unlike GoPros, they were super hard to remove. Also, the front screen, GoPro does not have that, and that is one of the main reason I bought this camera, is to have that front-facing screen. If you're blogging, if you just want to see what you're recording, it's extremely useful. Over here, as you can see, there's this little slots over here. This is supposed to be kind of a heatsink device. So this having this over here should prevent your camera from heating up too much. As you are probably aware that GoPros are notorious for heating up if you are recording in 4K video. So they heat up, even after 20 minutes, my GoPro heats up really fast. So this is supposed to prevent that, and I'm super excited to try it out. Over here on the side, we have the USB-C slot. So there is the USB-C, and then there is your SD card. So the SD card, the outside of the SD card faces down when it goes inside, and then you just push it in, and then it is in. And just like the GoPro, this comes up very easily, and you just have to align this, and then it goes back in. So super easy. And then when you turn over here, here's your full screen. So the full size screen is over here. Now, something interesting on this one that GoPro doesn't have is each batteries come with the sealing device. So every time you get a battery, you're getting a better sealing at the same time. So if you have a GoPro, you know that it is a little difficult to open this compartment over here each time you are trying to change the battery. Over here, the battery actually comes with it. So how this works is you just put the battery over here, and then you just push it in. Now, as you can see that I pushed in the battery, but there's still a little orange indicator over here. But over here, it is not. It's completely seated. If you have an orange indicator over here, that means that the battery is not fully seated. So what you need to do is you push it in, and then as you can see, it is fully seated, and then the battery is in. To remove the battery, you just have to push on this two, pull this, and then it comes off right here. So to put it in, you just press onto it, and then if you don't see the orange indicator, that means the battery is in. Now here's your power button, and here's your record button. There's the LED indicator of your recording status. There's one mic over here, and then you also have another mic on the side over here. and then you got your speakers over here. So to turn this on, you just have to press on the display once, and it turns it on. So now it says activate with DJI Mimo, and what we're gonna do is, I have the Mimo app installed over here. Now I'm gonna press on that camera. It says device connection is searching, and it found the Osmo Action. So right here, and what I need to do is I need to accept it. So we just need to agree to the DJI's terms and conditions, and I need to let the Osmo obtain the device info. So if you don't allow it, it is not going to be able to give you the next option. So you want to allow it, you just activate it. And while activating, it says activate successful. Now I do not want to learn more about the DJI Care Refresh, so I'm gonna hit skip, and it says activation successful. And if we go to notice for beginners, it kind of walks you through all the beginner stuff, and I allow it to join. And now it is doing a firmware update. This is extremely important. You want to make sure that you are doing the firmware update. Otherwise, you will have an outdated firmware, and DJI always changes what comes next with the firmware update. So you want to make sure that you let the firmware update go through. To turn on the screen, you just have to press on this display once, and the screen is on. Now, while we're here, the first thing let's try is, as I said earlier, there's a front-facing screen over here. So to do that, one way to do it is just to press and hold a quick select. So if I press and hold, it went dark over here, and then the screen turned on over here. So quick select does that. Another way to do it is to double tap with your two fingers over here. So now it is facing this side, and if I double tap, it becomes dark, and then it goes to the back. You cannot have both of this screen turned on at the same time. Now, another way to do it is through voice commands, and let's dive into that setting really quick. So if we swipe down, the voice command over here is off. If we go to setting, voice control, if we turn on the voice control would be on. I want to see the command list. So the command list right now is start, stop, take photo, screen switch, and shut down. So those are the current command list. If we go over here, we can turn on the voice command here. Take a photo. Start recording. Stop recording. Screen switch. So it's the screen over here. Screen switch. And it went back. So the voice commands are really good, and they are right on. Now let's talk about settings and features that are available in Osmo Action that are not available in GoPro. One of the main things is obviously the front screen. So if we go over here, as you can see, there is slow motion, which is not available in GoPro. There is HDR. HDR is extremely important on low light conditions so that you don't lose on those details. That is not available in GoPro. And if we go over here to time lapse, something interesting that Osmo does in time lapse, and if you swipe up, is that it gives you an interval and duration. So you can change the duration as well as the video quality. So right now it's set to 4K, and if you tap over here, you can change it to 1080p, 2.7K, whatever you want. So if we leave it at 4K, now you can change your intervals, and it lets you have a finer adjustments, right? So GoPro does have the time-lapse feature, but it goes from 2 to 5 seconds, and there is no 3-4 seconds, and that might be important for you, for your purpose. So if we can change those intervals as we want, and then we can also change the video duration. So if we say that our video duration record for 30 minutes, so there is an infinity sign over here, which means, you know, record forever, or as long as your battery is charged. And this is, you know, you can change it to, let's say, 30 minutes over here. And if we go 30 minutes duration and 1 second interval, that means your video duration is going to be 1 minute. It shows right over here that is going to be 1 minute, which is really nice. Now you don't have to go do calculations to figure out your exact video duration. It will tell you right over here. So I thought that was very interesting and a very important setting. Of course, it has hyperlapse, same as GoPro, and it has the AEB, similar settings as GoPro. If we swipe left and if we go to picture over here, there is something called dewarp. Now, this dewarp is GoPro's version of linear picture. Now, if you have a GoPro, that you know that whenever you are recording, you get that fish eye, like a big fish eye picture, and if you don't want that, you can turn on the linear setting, but then that 4K is not available in linear setting. Versus over here, you can record in 4K by turning on the dewarp, and that is supported, which is really good. Another quick tips here is that let's say if you always record in certain setting, right? So over here, we are going to go into video, and video over here. Now, if we go to settings, let's say if you're constantly recording 2.7K at 30 frames per second, and you always want your rock steady to turn on, what you can do is you do your setting, you can turn on and we turn on the dewarp. Now, this is if you want that setting to be always available, and you want, regardless of how you change your other settings, what you can do is you can go over here and then you can click over here and it says save the current configuration to C1, and you can hit C1 and it says the video will be recorded with 2.7K, 30 frames per second, rock steady. And if you want to say, okay, do you want to save the current setting? You save the current setting. To access this C2 profile, what you can do is go to setting, and then when you hit a quick switch, your setting is saved right over here. Now if you hit okay, it's saved over here. Now if we click on hit the quick switch, it goes to your profile right over here that you have saved, and it is 2.7K, 30 frames per second. So it is really easy to swap between profile. This reminds me of a feature that Teslas have where you can save your driver profile with your setting, how you want your air conditioning, where your seat are and all that, and then you can quickly select between who is driving to change the setting. So this is very similar in terms of whatever you want to record, you can just have those as a quick switch, always accessible. Now, another thing I want to talk about was the rock steady. So this is the electronic image stabilization for the DJI Osmo Action. Now, to turn on the rock steady and turn it off, you just have to swipe up and you can change the setting, and then over here rock steady is turned on. Now, why would you ever want to turn off the rock steady if it is going to stabilize your image? Well, if you are shooting in a low light condition, rock steady actually makes your video a little bit worse. So you want to turn that off if you are shooting in a low light condition. Simply just tap that and then you're ready to go. Now, next thing is the snapshot. So if we go over here in the setting, and if we do snapshot over here, it is the latest setting is what is set to. What a snapshot does is what happens when you click on this, right? So if right now it says latest setting. So if I had used video mode last, if I click on here, it will start recording video. Now, if I want to always have it so that it takes a photo when I press on this, I can make it photo. So let's turn this off. Now, if I press on this, it should automatically take a photo because we saved it as a snapshot. And it did, right there. Now, if we go to the snapshot setting again, and if we say, okay, we want every time we press this button, we want it to record video. Now, if that is the case, let's turn this off. Now we're shutting it down. Now, if we press this, it should start recording. And it is. So that is Snapshot, which comes in very handy if you want to have it for whatever setting you want. I'm gonna leave it at latest setting. Now let's talk about grid. So if we go to setting, right over here, grid, you can turn on the grid, and now grid is on. This is helpful if you are trying to make your pictures very symmetric, and if you want something just on that corner or 1/3 and you want to measure it accurately, grids are very useful, and that is how you get grid. Another setting that I want to talk about is the image preview. So if I swipe right, now here is the recent video that was recorded, and if we press on this corner over here, and if you press on all, there's this folder set up for you where you can go between, there's the video, there's a photo, so you can just press on, it's kind of like the photo album from iPhone, so you can just press on all the videos and then you see all the videos over here. So that was unboxing, basic tutorial and setup for this camera. The intention of today's video was just to do the unboxing and show you what comes with the packaging as well as the charging kit, and then also do some setup and then basic tutorial. I'm going to be making another video which will cover much in depth about each of those settings, including the hyperlapse. I am also going to be doing some trick shots using this Osmo Action Camera, and then I'm also going to be putting this camera, taping this camera in my drone, and then see how the Rocket Steady feature really performs, as well as many other features in the coming days. So stay tuned for that video. Now, should you get an Osmo Action or should you get a GoPro Hero 9? It totally depends on you, what features you are looking for and what you are comfortable with. I think both of these cameras offer a lot of variety of things for everyday use, as well as for sports use, for many different use. For me, I prefer the Osmo Action. One of the biggest reasons is because it has the front-facing camera, so I can see what I'm recording. The Hero 9, they say that they're gonna come up with a mod later in the year. I don't know when that is coming, that you should be able to hook it up to your camera and then see the front-facing camera, but it is not there yet. With this, it is there, as well as the slow motion, HDR. I think it just offers multiple different features that GoPro doesn't have. Also, I'm going to be testing really on how much it heats up. So far, I have recorded for like 25-30 minutes, and it hasn't heat up, which was contrary to GoPro. My Hero 7 Black heats up with like 16 minutes, about 16 to 20 minutes. It is already really hot. I can't even touch it. So I like that feature a lot with this. But I'll be making a lot more video on this, so stay tuned for all of those videos. And I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you would like to see more videos in the future, and if you would like to support my channel and help it grow, please hit the like button, subscribe, and then turn on the notifications so you will be notified for my next video. I work really hard to bring my videos to you, so I hope to grow, and I hope that I have been helpful to you and answer your questions and help you set up your Osmo Action with today's video. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the next video.